She said I teach the deaf, and I have 10 kids from 7 years old to 13 years old, and I'm tired. But anyway, it's going fine. It's going fine. One of my kids, he's deaf, but he has 2 cochlear implants, which means he hears kind of this computerized thing, so you're never sure what he understands. And he has autism, so he has no expression in his face whatsoever, which in sign language is about the same as talking like a robot, right? It's really, there's none of that. He signs and reads English. His dad only speaks Cantonese, so he has no communication at home at all. And what's interesting, and I've had many kids with autism, is that he's the only kid I've worked with who wants to learn social skills, that has just decided to learn these skills. And autism, that's part of the disability. Deaf is its own culture, so there's a lot of opportunities to mistranslations. Anyway, so I'm in the classroom, and he's a real tall, skinny kid with like giant teeth with spaces in him. He's adorable. And he comes up to me and he signs, "Did you hear a fart?" And I said, "No, why?" And he said, "Kian says he heard a fart." And I said, "Well, Kian is deaf. He doesn't hear anything." And this kid looks at me, again, no expression ever. And he says, "Why lie to me?" So I had to figure out how to translate whoever smelt it dealt it, right? So I'm like, what does that mean? So I said, sometimes the farter himself blames everybody. And in sign language, there's this sign, it's like a Y, and it's kind of like, oh, right, that's how the deaf use it, but he has no expression. So what he does, so I say, well, usually, I think it means he farted. And he goes, "Well." So fast forward 2 days, and I guess it's the end of the school year. I have almost nothing to do. It's really hard to keep all these kids busy. So one of my kids asks me, "What's the difference between deaf and hard of hearing?" And I go, "Oh, well, let's talk about audiograms." And I put an audiogram up, and because this is about them and they have no idea what it means. So basically an audiogram, like, it's a grid, and one side is volume, and then the other is frequency. Like, is it a low pitch or a high pitch? And then there's a picture here, like in the middle of what they call the speech bubble, which is where all the sounds in English are. And then there's also pictures around it that'll have like a chainsaw, like this is the frequency and volume of a chainsaw, birds tweeting, so that you can kind of see when they graph someone's hearing, what they can hear and what they can't. So that is audiology 101. So I put up the audiogram and I go, look, this is what you hear. I hear this, you hear this, I'm hearing, you're hard of hearing, blah, 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 blah. And then this kid says, "Where's the fart?" And I said, okay. Because he remembered I had told him that other kid couldn't hear the fart. So I had to look at the chart and I said, well, it depends on the fart. Right? And I said, some have the frequency of a trumpet, but not the volume. And then some, I put some like up around leaves in the wind and a whisper. I said, some are up here. And some you don't hear at all. And he goes, "Boo." Thank you.